Hi, my name is Deborah Hicks, and I'm going to talk to you today about the body style differences between the 1967 Camaro and the 2002 Chevy Camaro. Camaro first came out in 1967. It was Chevrolet's answer to the Mustang, which had come out a couple of years before that. The Camaro had 5 generations of Camaros, and they're typically, the years were grouped by first gen, second gen, third gen, fourth gen, fifth gen. The first generation was 1967 to 1969. The second generation Camaro was 1970 to 1981. The third generation Camaro was 1982 to 1992, and the fourth generation Camaro was 1993 to 2002. Camaro took a break of almost a decade and just started production in 2010 of what's now the 5th generation Camaro. But today we're just going to talk about the first generation and the 4th generation. Since I couldn't fit a Camaro into this office space here, I have a model to show you. I have a 1967 Chevy Camaro model, and here's the modern day counterpart, the 2002 Chevy Camaro. Now, one of the main differences is the headlights. On the 1967 headlights, specifically on the RS model, they had hideaway headlights, and this was where you would pull the headlight switch and the headlights would come up, and that was how the headlights were shown. The problem with this was that these were electrically operated and they quickly burn out. So people were not overly happy with these hideaway headlights, although they looked great. And so after the first generation Camaro, the 1967 through 69, they didn't make those hideaway headlights anymore. And as you can see on the 2002, they have just normal headlights. Now here's something else kind of unique to the 67 Camaro. 1967 is the only year model of Camaro to have vent windows. All the future generations and all the future years didn't have any vent windows. They just had the 2-door and the 1 window that obviously rolled up and down. Now, another thing unique to the 67 is what's called a side marker light. Now, on the 1967, typically a side marker light would be right here on the back end of it. In 1967, they didn't put that on the Camaro. All the future years, and including the 2002, had the little side marker lights. Now, difference in weight. 1967, the weight was about 3,500 pounds. That's with air conditioning and all the other bells and whistles. And this car would go stock right out of the dealership, would go about 290 horsepower. The 2002, by contrast, almost the same, 3,700 pounds, and its horsepower was about 350 horse. So basically the same weight, but the 2002 was a whole lot faster stock than the 1967. Overall, I would say the difference in the body styles, while they're both great looking cars, the 1967 was a little more boxy. The 2002 Camaro was much more sleek and much more aerodynamic. I would have to say, in conclusion, that both cars are a lot of fun to drive, and I hate to admit that I was around to drive both of these cars, but I will also say that there is no truth to the rumor that red cars get more tickets. I've had Camaros almost my whole life, and I still own a 2002 Camaro, and so far, I've never had a ticket. Thanks for listening.